Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are continuing with our 7 Battlefield EZA's showcase series, and today's part is of course the INT Android 13, or I guess we should say Super Android 13, or as Dokkan likes to call him, Fusion Android 13. So of course we are running him on the Androids team. We don't have his link partner on this rotation. He actually links better with him anyway, which is good because he's a support unit, so we'll keep him around. His best linking partner is going to probably be the STR Super Mirror from the previous Heroes banner. They share Nightmare for 10% attack, Tough as Nails, which is a 1500 defense, Android Assault, which is 1000 defense, and then Fear and Faith for 2 key. There's not a lot of androids that have Nightmare. He has things like Red Ribbon Army, which is an attack link for 300 attack, which is obviously not the best. He of course has Shattering the Limit for 2 key, and then he also has Metamorphosis, which is the 5% HP recovery link. So he's got some decent links, but there's not going to be a lot of great android linking partners for him. So this mirror is going to work out nicely. So we just need to float him off here. Of course they couldn't start together, could they? But that's fine. So let's go through what Fusion Android 13 does now after his Extreme Z Awakening. So his leader skill is Tech type enemies attack and defense minus 43%. So I've seen it done before. If you have like 3 or 4 hours to kill, you can do the Extreme Int or versus Super Tech, whatever you want to call it, Super Battle Road, by using double Android 13 leads. So the enemies are getting minus 86% attack and defense, which means all of the enemies do very little damage to you. But of course, because you have no attack in your leader skill or key, you don't do a lot of damage and could potentially miss out on supers. But I have literally seen screenshots of people beating the mono stages with teams that have leader skills like that, but it takes like 3 or 4 hours. So obviously I've never been in a position where I've needed to do that, so nor have I had the inclination to waste such a huge amount of time, but it can be done. So his super attack is supreme damage to the enemy and massively lowers defense, which can be useful sometimes, but not the best. Does he get an extra link from Android 3rd? No, he doesn't get any extra links from Android 21. So let's go ahead and do this. Obviously you're seeing, I'm sure, a lot of rainbow orbs on the field. That is because his passive, he changes Tech key spheres to rainbow key spheres. He also gets an extra 2 key per rainbow orb, so he's getting 3 key for every rainbow orb. It's a bit of a weird ability to give to like non-LRs, because obviously on this team with double 3 key leads he only needs 6 key, and then of course we only need to give him a Fear and Faith or Shattering the Limit link partner, and then he only needs 4 key. So why he needs to get 3 key from rainbow orbs, I have absolutely no idea. But then of course he does get a base attack and defense plus 50%, which is not the best, but then that's factored in with the fact that he also gets a 13% boost per android ally on the team. And normally when it's worded like that, it includes himself, it will also include the friend leader, so it's actually 7 units. So on a full android team like the one we're running now, his passive will be giving him a 91% attack and defense boost. So that is not bad at all. So let's see. I guess we'll just do this for now, yeah. I want to get him... I haven't really been paying a huge amount of attention to his attack stat, although I'm sure you guys have all seen it. I've been waiting for us to get him actually linked up with Mirror. Plus we've kept that Hellfighter 17 around, who is probably the best support unit for certain androids units. He's one of those split type supports that supports androids and artificial life forms, and of course if the unit belongs to both, they get both the buffs, which is why he's very good for this Fusion Android 13, who is on movie bosses, androids, artificial life forms, and target Goku. So we are going to see this next turn coming up is going to be his best rotation. So I'm interested to see what kind of attack stat we can get for him. Nothing else changes. He's not like the Super Saiyan Goku where he gets a little bit of more of a boost depending on your health, or like the Evil Boo who can stack attack with his super. So this is absolutely going to be the best rotation we can get. So 198, yeah, so he doesn't show any extra links with Mirror that the other one doesn't have. So he's healing himself twice in the first slot, so I want to put 13 there because I do want to see him tank. With these supports on the rotation and that massive amount of stat increases he gets, I'm like 90% sure he's going to tank for double digits, but I want to put him there anyway because obviously he's only healing in these first 2 slots. So let Mirror go ahead. I think my Mirror has 1 dupe, but he's like one of the unfeatured ones, so it's hard to... Was that 1.6? That's not too bad, all things considered. That is his best attack stat, though. As I say, this is his best link partner with probably the best support unit on the rotation for him as well. And like I say, there's no way for him to get boosted any higher than that. So we'll get another one out of him and see what we get. But honestly, I would say that's a little bit disappointing. That's one of the lowest ones that we've seen so far, aside from maybe the physical Goku. But as we talked about in his video, he's not really designed to be an out-and-out damage dealer. He has all that extra utility with like his ability to stun, free built-in crits, etc. Whereas 13 doesn't get any of that useful sort of stuff. He just literally gets a big solid chunk of attack boosts. The changing key spheres to rainbow orbs could obviously be useful. It does mean we get lots of key pathways opened up for our various LRs on the Android team. So you could run him in the 3rd slot, almost like a support unit, because he's going to pop into a rotation potentially with 1 or 2 of your LRs and create a bunch of rainbow orbs, meaning you can connect up the field and get a ton of key for them. So he could be useful for that, because as we discussed, like, he doesn't need extra key. So having that part of his passive, it doesn't really benefit him at all. But it could definitely benefit the rest of the team around you. So he could definitely be useful in that respect. So let's see. Okay, we're going to take a super attack here. We've got defensive buff from 17 on the rotation. Wow, 21k. Is that it? And then double digits from supers. But yeah, 1.3 with no attack support unit on the rotation. So not the best, but I mean, he tanks very well. Like, obviously we did get the big defensive buff from 17, but he tanked that super attack like an absolute boss. So I am pretty happy with that. I'm trying to think for some other team. Like, obviously you really only want to run him on androids or artificial life forms if your artificial life forms is comprised mostly of androids, because obviously the less android category allies you have, the lower that buff that he gets from his passive is going to be. So he can be a bit hit or miss depending on how you build the rest of your team. So he is very much going to be at his best on the android team, and which is where we are, of course, showing him off now. I will probably take him into... I'll probably mention this in every video, but I'm doing these initial showcases against like a standard event, and then I'm going to go ahead and take them into a harder event like Super Battle Road. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does on the Android Super Battle Road, because getting that nice big defensive buff is going to be very useful, even if he's not the hardest hitter in the world. If he's a very good tank, then that makes him very effective for Super Battle Road if you still need to complete the Android stage. Because that is one good thing about these guys. Even if we say that he's a little bit disappointing compared to some of the ones that we've seen so far, these were all very old units that people probably had laying around, all like duped out without bothering to put orbs in because they just really weren't worth it. And now they've all been given EZAs that make them somewhat good, definitely usable at the very least. So let's see, can we actually finish him off here? Because I know this final form Boo has pretty much lost all of his damage reduction. So, oh, in fact, we should... We're getting the Dokkan attack here? Yeah, we are. Okay, so we should finish him off here. We do have 21 on the rotation for a little bit of support. So let's see what kind of attack stat we can get here. Ooh, very fast one, but fortunately the mouse was decided to play ball this time. So he's up to 1.56 million attack stats, so not terrible. I guess I should really have looked at his defense at the start of the turn, because I feel like his defense would be quite high. So yeah, look at that. That's a nice big crit with the Dokkan attack. So in fact, let's do that. I guess let's go into the next event and just get through this first rotation so we can actually see him on rotation and see what his defense is, because I feel like that's where he's going to shine the most, since his attack output hasn't quite been as high as maybe we would have liked. So let's very quickly grab these and then get through this first stage here, because I don't want to look at it now, because obviously we've started a new fight and he hasn't been on rotation yet, so I want to see him actually on the rotation with his passive activated. In fact, this might even be the rotation where we have the Hellfire 17, so the stats will be skewed a little bit because of the buff from him, but that is of course his best rotation, so we're able to see his optimal defense stat here. So let us see. So obviously we could put you in the front, and then yeah, so he has 128,000 defense, which is pretty decent compared to everybody else. And then let's not forget to show his build. So because he is just a straight out damage dealer, that's all he really does. Like obviously, whilst he doesn't deal the most damage, as we've seen from his attack stats, but he doesn't have any special effects. Like he doesn't really do anything outside of just being here to get hit and take hits. So he's got additional 9, 12 crit, and 5 dodge. So there you go. Yo, so if you have noticed at all the runtime of the video, you're probably thinking there's not really much time left for showing off the TEQ 13 in this TEQ and INT 13 video, and that is because I'm not going to. So we're going to talk about that why now. So I've brought up the details for the TEQ Android 13 on the screen, and I will go through why I am not actually going to show him in game. So if we look at what he does, obviously his leader skill is kind of pointless. He does supreme damage to the enemy and greatly lowers defense. He gets key +4, attack and defense 80% when key is 4 or more, and gets attack and defense 30% when there are 3 or more Android category allies on the team. And then these are his links. So the long and short of it is, his link set is exactly the same as the INT one. His passive is the total boost that he gets, because obviously you want to run him on an Android's team. So if I was going to show him off, I would basically be using the exact same team that you just saw, but with the TEQ 13 instead of the INT one. So he has the same best link partner, because he has the same links. And the total bonus that he gets from his passive is less than the INT one. And then his super attack, they both do supreme damage, but the INT one massively lowers defense, and the TEQ one only greatly lowers defense. So essentially, the TEQ one is exactly the same as the INT one, except worse in every way. So basically, I'm kind of short on TEQ orbs at the moment, so I decided I'm not actually even going to bother rainbowing him. I did awaken him, fully EZA him, all paths open, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm not actually going to rainbow him, because I'll never use him, because he is just the weaker version of the INT one. And that does make sense. Like, you might be thinking to yourself, well, why did they bother making him like this if he's just a worse version of the INT one? But you got to remember that he is free to play, and with the update to his event, it's now really easy to farm this guy up and have a free, fully Extreme Z Awakened unit. And he's not a bad unit at all. Like, these are some good numbers that we're seeing on here. It's just the fact that if you have the INT one is better. So I don't really see the point of showing gameplay of the exact same unit with the exact same super attack animation, who's just going to do lower numbers in everything. So I figure you guys will understand that. It's pretty straightforward, but there you go. So that is going to be it. We'll look forward to the next part where we show off the final unit, Nova Shenron. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.